Hello, and welcome to this March edition of Tiger Broadcast. I'm Micaiah Clayton.
And I'm Lauren Chipsis.
On this edition, we will take a look at one student who is helping mold the future of technology.
And we will also learn how a student is blazing a new trail for herself and reaping the benefits.
Stay tuned for all this and more on this edition of Tiger Broadcast. In this story, one Lee Summit High School senior has taken the opportunity to try something entirely new. The benefits have definitely come full circle. Reporter Aaliyah Rowland and photographer Lauren Chipsis explain.
For years, people in Kansas City and across the country have headed to the stage, showcasing an art form that's allowed them to express themselves on a larger-than-life scale.
Drag is basically like the adult version of dressing up. You get to kind of be like whatever you want to be in your head and just bring it to fruition in the real world. Specifically in the queer community, it helps relate to like gender expression and everything like that specifically to us, but everyone can do it.
With encouragement from members of the community, one LSHS student has jumped into the world of drag.
So I actually was introduced to it by my brother and my brother-in-law. They have both done drag before, and they just kind of adopted me into their little drag family, and I started out by doing Drag Survivor. A lot of times what we want is to be able to spread messages of love and acceptance and just really being unapologetically you. A lot of times that means testing gender boundaries or really just being out there, but the main thing is that we want to inspire people.
Senior Alex King, who performs as Naja Day, has used this art form to extend messages of self-confidence to others, while also growing their performing art skills.
I guess the main reason that I love drag is because it is the culmination of every performing arts skill that I've ever learned. It's the dancing, it's the acting, it's being able to do stage makeup, it's being able to make costumes, mix music, all those sorts of things.
We've seen people who are seamstress or makeup artists or dancers like Naja and things that it's like you take whatever art forms you have and you can actually blend all these art forms into one.
The people in their life say drag has allowed Alex to grow as a performer on the stage and a person off the stage.
Alex/Naja, she was like 17 when I met her, and I remember finding out being like, that's so impressive to me. And the nerve it takes to do something like this at 17, I didn't have that.
Getting confident in their own skin using drag really did help blossom into a more powerful Alex.
Alex isn't ready to stop anytime soon, and members of the drag community encourage others to take a leap of faith.
Drag allowed me to realize that I didn't have to follow the rules of everyone else around me. I could kind of just do my own thing and figure out my own path. Once you get out of the high school environment and you start swimming in the big fishbowl of life, you realize that you're able to do a lot more than I think you ever realized you could at that age. So just be confident, be proud. Don't let anyone stop you from doing what you want to do as long as you're doing something good for other people and yourself.
It's really about portraying the art behind it and your own take on what you want to present.
Really, I just want to make an impact on my community. I want to be able to get more gigs to either just make people happy or that inspire people or that people can relate to, and I think it's just a good way to bring everyone together.
Reporting for Tiger Broadcast, I'm Aaliyah Rowland.
Everyone knows a good proportion of our current lives revolve around technology. What some may not know, however, are the small details that go into creating tech we can't live without. In this next story, reporter Micaiah Clayton and Sophia Ayer introduce us to the student who is not a standard face of technology.
In today's society, everything is electronic. Everybody wants things right now, and we have so much information at our fingertips, and somebody has to code all of those things to make them work.
Well, coding is creating things with the language that computers use. It's literally creating the world around you.
Everybody just expects it to be magic and work, but there's somebody behind the scenes making it work.
That magic is the foundation of almost everything you see, whether it be cell phones, movies, buildings, or even washing machines. Coding is a major part of everyday life. One student at LSHS fell in love with the part that many don't see.
I got into coding because my 7th grade year I decided to be on the robotics team. What's interesting to me about coding is the wide array of things you can do with it. Like you can make games, you can make like AI programs, you can make pretty much anything that you do with technology has something to do with coding.
Kai is one of the few women interested in the world of computer science. According to computerscience.org, women used to dominate the field. But since 1970, that number has stayed under 25%.
I think it's just they aren't encouraged as they're young to study math and science like boys are. Unfortunately, to get a computer science degree that is heavy math,
which is really problematic because if you don't have females creating the technology of the world, those voices aren't being represented.
In an effort to change the dynamic, LSHS has the Girls Who Code Club that embraces those struggles and works to help underrepresented groups within the technology community.
Last year I was the only girl in my class, and then 2 girls who code. It's like, wow, I'm not the only one, you know? But people my age, girls my age, who are interested in programming, which is interesting because in most of my computer science classes there aren't that many girls.
Even with being one of the only girls in her class, that has not stopped Kai from doing what she does best.
She is so creative and passionate and hardworking. She's made herself brilliant. When she tries something and it's not successful, it's a success because she learns something from it, and so she's just growing at an exponential rate.
Kai's hard work has not gone unnoticed. Last month, she earned an award for aspirations in computing through NC WIT, a network that supports women in tech, and she hopes to continue her work with a degree in computer science. Signing out for Tiger Broadcast, I'm Micaiah Clayton.
The Tigerettes are best known for their halftime performances. What goes unnoticed, though, is how much work goes into their routines. Reporter Paige Gregory and photographer Kiera Wilburn dive deeper into the world of dance.
Mainly at football games, we stand on the sidelines, and then whenever there's like a break in between the game, they'll play a song, and then we dance to them.
Sidelines are something that we haven't put as much emphasis on in the past, and I think it's something that we need to maybe focus on a little bit more in the future.
The Tigerettes are a huge part of the football game experience. They perform during halftime and entertain on the sidelines, but for those who do not know, there is a lot more that goes into being a Tigerette.
Mainly at practices, we get there and we run for 10 minutes. We either work on one of our dances depending on which one we're about to perform, but we usually practice that for like an hour or something and then like switch dances so we can like work on both.
Lots of practice and drill little sections over and over and over. We just broke down every single section and would do that individually, and then we would try to add it all together.
All of their hard work was put towards one goal.
Really, going to nationals is something that is a driving force for them because it's just such a fun and unique experience.
That first year we won state, like it just felt so good. So I think that the year after we were just so like driven and wanted it again that it just made us work harder and harder. But this year, I really think that we're close as a team, so like it helps like us work together better, and like we all want the same goal. So.
It's definitely an experience that really no one else can experience, or it's hard to experience that. Not many people are lucky enough, but you know, we worked so hard to earn that, and it felt like such a reward to myself and everyone else.
Competing at the high school level allows the dancers to advance their skills.
Really focusing more on those will not only help us prepare for that game day routine, but it'll also help us prepare for anyone that wants to go to a college dance team, because they really focus on those sidelines, and the sharpness and the precision is kind of where we lack in our dance team, I think.
It does not matter whether you're dancing at the college or high school level. Dancing is a challenge.
I'm like, you think this is easy? Well, you know, then go ahead and try it yourself. And, you know, usually that leaves them a bit speechless.
All the hard work pays off when there's a special bond between one another.
I just love the team. We're all close, and I love all the girls so much. And I think the team just as a whole is the best part.
Signing out for Tiger Broadcast, this is Paige Gregory.
Thank you for watching this March edition of Tiger Broadcast.
For packages and more, visit tigerbroadcast.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TBTV8Tigers. Once again, I'm Micaiah Clayton.
And I'm Lauren Tripsis. See you next time, Tigers.